Can you kind of talk about kind of where the team is mentally and going into this one?
Practice well last couple of days. It's really all you could hope for. It's hard to gauge where your self confidence is after it gets checked like that over the last 2 weeks. So we just gotta circle the wagons and we gotta start playing better defense. Find a way to and hopefully we've done a few things this week in practice to just help with some of the scheme and give some different looks and so we'll probably try and do some different things at that end of the floor this coming week.
How would you say the players kind of responded to your message then after the Cal loss?
It's just like I said, I thought we practiced pretty well, had a good attitude, practiced hard today, and so that's all I could really go on. I doesn't look like a group of people that doesn't want to be here. It seems like a team, group of guys that are still, energized, and we're trying to get better.
Not that you have a lot of choices, but any lineup changes as far as the starting lineup this week?
I'm still debating that, and it's possible. Anytime you go through a stretch like this, you have to, potentially look to try something different. So I'm still thinking about it, and we'll see how that goes this week.
How is Jose practice? Is he back in the fold as normal? And
Yeah, we had a tough moment at the end of the half. He felt bad about it. He expressed that to me and to the team, and on Monday. So we moved on. He's been good in practice, had a good attitude in practice. So we're just things happen. Guys, people get frustrated. He's a winning player. He's just not happy that things have gone the way they have the last 2 weeks.
You talked about wanting to coach that second half team for as many games as you can. How do you get that second half team for a full 40 minutes?
It's a good question. I think it's we've proven that when we play the right way, we play together, that we have good enough players to win games. But if we don't have a collective approach to playing the game and sharing the ball and being happy for another teammate's success within the game, and being there for each other defensively to in all ways, just being good teammates, then we could play quality basketball. I thought rewatching our first Colorado game is, I think, a good example of that. They're, in my opinion, no doubt an NCAA tournament team with what they've done and what their record is right now, and the players that they have and the coaching that they get, and we played an NCAA tournament caliber game first time around. So it was great to see that, because you kind of move on after something and you get ready for the next thing, and you don't always take the time to really appreciate just how well we had played in that game. And so that the guys are capable of doing it. You just hope that it just sinks in that we have to do it this way all the time, every time we step out on the floor.
Now that you are playing a lot of these teams for the second time, they kind of know that you guys are really aggressive on the defensive end. If they put some emphasis on really taking care of the ball and kind of force you guys into a half-court offense, what sets are you looking to run this week?
Well, we're going to have to figure out what defense we're seeing. That's the first step. It's, and then we run our offense. We have about 30 different potential set plays that we could run against man, and we have a few against zone, not as many, but we rely more on motion offense against zone and attack in certain areas of the zone. So we worked against both defenses this week. So Colorado likes to run, so I think our transition defense will be tested, and we have to be prepared for that. And certainly, Utah is capable. Both of those teams. So yeah, we have to try and play well at both ends of the floor.
Going back to watching the film, and obviously you're playing them again, you want to watch the film, but seeing how well you guys play, do you think that's good for your players just from a positive mental outlook, just so they can be reminded, hey, we played that well?
Yeah, as long as they know, and I encourage them to watch the game because it was a quality game, and we played a very good basketball game. And so, Colorado played pretty well too, and I know they didn't have Cody Williams, but De Silva had just gotten back and played very well in that game, and obviously Simpson's terrific. But there were stretches in that game where we went on an 8-0 run. Colorado went on a 7-0 run. Like there were those type of things that were happening, and we didn't we didn't fold in any type of adversity, and that's important in those type of games. Two really good teams are going to make runs at you, and we should going to expect that on Thursday night.
Anything new in the personnel department?
Sorry, personnel.
Personnel like Meeks and Long still.
Yeah, no. Bryson was in practice on a limited basis, but he's not ready. And I think at some point Bryson might want to share just what he's gone through. It's been tough for him since Christmas Eve. He's gone through a lot, but that's his private medical business to discuss with if he chooses to do so.
Both Colorado, you talked about at home. You guys always pride yourselves. You love playing at home. How do you go away? What are you telling your guys, mentally, and how do they prepare?
Well, I mean, just gotta be prepared for adversity. Be prepared for a very good team. Understand what they do very well, which is check a lot of boxes. The offensive end in a lot of categories, points, 3-point shooting, rebounding. So those are you got to make sure that you understand what your opponent's strengths are, and it's not going to be a friendly environment at either place. So you got to be prepared for that. And both teams have a lot to play for. Both teams have NCAA tournament resumes right now, so they're going to be ready to play. So we're going to have to play extremely well.
I'm talking about the difficulty of reflection sometime within a season. How do you feel after this losing stretch the players have been able to do a little bit of self-reflection, and now talking about the circular movement, maybe coming back to some of those similar issues from non-conference play to regain that identity that they had within those wins?
Yeah, you're running out of time to avoid those situations, those games where some of your bad habits re-enter the equation somehow, and but you have to. That's why I encourage them to watch the first game with Colorado, because the synergy on the team was very good, and they're playing together, playing the right way, playing for each other, supporting each other in a lot of different ways that coaches appreciate when you rewatch a game like that. So, if that's the team that we choose to be the rest of the way, then we'll have a chance to win some games here and see if we can make a run late in the season. But that's going to be up to the group to make that decision.
Sean Phillips Jr. seemingly has been coming into his own the last few games as a low post scorer, putting pressure on the rim. What do you think is the next step towards getting him more involved in the offense?
Well, I mean, his development's important to the program. It's because and the future of the program, because just his upside, his potential, and with the injury, not having all those games under its belt, it's not easy for a young player. But he's showing flashes of what we saw in the off season and the potential he has. And all the best teams that I've had here have had an inside presence that yes, we've had good guards here, but we've had a guy that we can throw the ball to. You talk about Warren Washington and Romello White and my NCAA tournament teams here, and we really haven't had that, outside of trying to get the ball to Jose in certain positions to take advantage of a matchup. But having Sean is a true interior presence if he could consistently produce for us if we get him the ball around the basket.
Do you think that's part of the reason why you guys have been struggling at half court?
It's easier to play inside out sometimes. When and Jose helps in that regard because he can back his man in some, draw attention, draw a double team, kick to a teammate, and then that helps us. But if you have a bigger guy like Sean that really is athletic around the basket, can energize what you're trying to do offensively, and then he's a willing passer too. And then when you get double teams, now guys are stepping into some easier type of shots.
Frankie's coming up on the single season record for steals. Where does he rank as far as on-ball defenders in all the players you've coached?
He's right there. He's right there with a kid I had in Buffalo, Gerard Oldham. And then you talk about Lou Dort too. Lou was pretty good, but he for us was a little bit bigger and a little bit more off the ball, and would guard like the bigger wing guards. But he's in that category for me of guy. He just wants to defend, and he takes it personal, and he's got great athleticism and instincts. So when you have that combination, it's pretty good.
Coach, can you talk about a little bit more about Cody Williams? He didn't play against you guys in the first game, but as you guys try to maybe force Colorado into more of a half-court offense instead of working in transition, What does he kind of bring to the table?
Yeah, he's a very smooth player. Really could shoot the ball, but he's could score on multiple levels. He's got a great IQ for the game. Plays at like a really good pace. For like a freshman. A lot of times you guys could get sped up, or the game feels too big, or it's going too fast for them. But for him, it seems like he sees things and makes plays out there like you would expect from an older player.
When you have a player like Jose on your team who has gotten to the free throw line nearly double the next best player, what does that add to the team scoring?
It's important for us to get free points if you can, and so it's been great that he's had that ability. It's a unique skill set of getting a guy off balance, and being able to get him out of position and get to the free throw line. It enables us to do a lot of things if we get to the free throw line. We get to take a deep breath because we exert a lot of energy when we're playing well in defense, and then we get to potentially set up some pressure situations with our trapping. So that what he brings is very important. What we do.
Okay, we got one more, and then he's got to go to the other workout.
All right, Coach. So with so many newcomers and you having to restructure the roster, what has been the message to them this week? Is the Mountain Road Trip is known as probably one of the biggest ones of the conference season.
What's the message? Is that when you're not doing well, no one should pat you on the back or tell you everything's going to be okay, because that's not how the world works. And these young men are learning what it's like to go through a difficult stretch, and what is their response going to be? It's do you want to be special? Do you want to still have a chance to do something special this year, or is it okay just to drift into the abyss and become irrelevant? So it's a big week in terms of seeing where our mindset is and what our approach will be to both these games.